it's Dave from Drive Adventure. Welcome back to the channel. Today you join me in a very special place here in Northern Yorkshire. Let me take you back to 2010 and the wizards of the Wysack division for Porsche GT had seen all their 997 RSs leave the factory and find their homes, their lucky owners. But they had a very, very special car up their sleeve. And today we're going to take you through the incredible and one of only 600 ever made, the GT3RS 4.0 in 997 configuration. Porsche GT division brought a car that swelled the engine from 3.8 to 4 litres. It had the race-tuned crankshaft. It had aluminium shock absorbers. It had plastic glass, not just in the rear but in the side windows. It had a new engine block, the con rods from the race engine, a new intake manifold, new exhaust headers, a titanium exhaust, new air filters. The front wings and the front bonnet would be carbon fibre to further reduce the weight of the car. And in the words of Andres Pointinger himself, it would be an all-time classic. So the 4 litre differentiates itself over the 3.8 with a number of little subtle differences. One of the first ones is the downplanes that are on the front wings of this car. And these downplanes add extra downforce to the front of the car because the rear wing, which we'll get to in a minute, has got a 9-degree attack angle. So the extra weight at the back, it needed to have an extra downforce at the back, needed to have more downforce at the front to complement it. Also new to the 4 litre was a carbon fibre front end, and this extended into the front bonnet as well. Now I think the silver wheels really suit this car. You do see them spec'd in black, but I think silver, because of the silver detailing with the 4.0 stripe down the side, really suits the car. And here we have the bigger rear wing, again bigger over the 3.8 version, and this is at a 9-degree angle. Like I said before, extra downforce on the back, it required those downplanes at the front to complement it and balance the car up at high speed. The unique livery on this car that signifies it to be a 4.0, silver wing mirrors. This little bit of red detail here is fantastic, and it matches in with the red RS 4.0 and the silver wheels. Okay, so let's check out the interior on this wonderful machine. The bucket seats are not 918 bucket seats, that car hadn't came along yet, so I believe these bucket seats are the ones you'll find in the Carrera GT. They actually pin you in the seat a little bit more actually than the 918 in my RS. Again, RS 4.0, it's RS 4.0 everywhere in the cabin in this car. We have it in the dial, we have it here on the door sills, and we also have it in the back as well. The thing I'm enjoying the most so far is this gear stick. Takes you back to my Spider. This place like a spider on steroids. It's just absolutely astonishing, and we're going to get to that very, very shortly. Just a purposeful interior, everything you need. It's got the sport suspension, sport button just to tune it up a little bit as you're driving. The original owner spec'd, which was Chris Harris, spec'd the front axle lift. We don't worry about speakers, we don't worry about all the luxuries. I'm sure the option list was much, much, much shorter than you're getting in 991 and 992. Now all the creature comforts, just throw them out the window. This car all about raw pleasure, raw driving. And it connects you to the road, connects you to the experience like no other car I've ever driven. Now again, the owner, when he first got this car, he spec'd to have the Porsche communication module. So in here, you've got satellite navigation, you've also got the creature comfort of air conditioning, and also, subtle touch here, you've got the cruise control. So enough creature comforts to keep you happy. So with the 4.0, it came standard with a front roll cage. As we know, most of us are used to seeing a rear roll cage in a GT3. This one has a lovely white roll cage to match the exterior colour of the car. But the first owner, Chris Harris, he decided to have it deleted, so there's no front cage in this 4 litre. Really enjoying this Porsche logo on here, lovely embossed there on the Alcantara. And for a car for 2011, surprisingly, it actually has a USB port, so you can actually charge your device, although it's not Apple CarPlay. We've got the fire extinguisher, that's obligatory in all GT3s. Interesting to see handbrake. Not had a handbrake in a car for a while, but this was 2010-11 engineering, so that was obviously going to change in the not too distant future. This thing is like the Spider on super steroids, let me tell you. That growly flat 6 in the back. Of course, this engine produced before all the emissions and regulations and European emission bandwagon got going. It's pure symphony. It's so sublime. You don't need to worry about a sharp works. You don't need to worry about artificial enhancement. This car, the way it sounds, it's just absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. There's nothing about the sound you want to change. It's just pure, unadulterated fun. Oh! And to think this car, one of only, I think, 32 right-hand drives. And here we are, driving it on Drive-In Venture. To think this car in 2011 came to the showrooms with 500 horsepower is quite something, because it wasn't until 2013, a few years later, that the next generation Porsche, the 991, came along. And that car, in GT3 format, had a mere 475 horsepower. And so it wasn't until 2017 and the 991.2 GT3 that 500 horsepower arrived into a GT3. And I think that's quite significant. This car was so far ahead of its time when it was released in 2011. The rose jointed rear suspension, the way this thing just moves when you steer the thing, it just darts on the road. You're just so connected to what's happening. Of course, this fabulous 6-speed manual transmission. The last of the Mexter engines, a 4-litre swan song. It's right up there, and for me, it's right up there with, it's got to be one of the best Porsches ever produced, and it will go down in pure folklore in Porsche circles for years and years to come. And I think what's made it that little bit more special is the fact that the original owner was Chris Harris. It's hard to believe it, you know. And I have to say, he's spec'd this car absolutely perfectly. You know, I don't think ceramics really suits it. I just don't think they do, because the silver, the white, and the red detailing, the yellow kind of gets in the way. The rear wing on this car is at a 9-degree angle. Now that stepped it up over the 3.8 RS, and that provided for more downforce and obviously better road holding. Now, because the car has the lighter front end, it's got the carbon fibre components on the wings and also the bonnet, it meant that Porsche had to come up with an idea to keep the front end a little bit more stable at speed. And so what they did was, they put the downplanes on the front on either side, and those are significant because the first time they appeared on a road-going car the Porsche produced, but at higher speed that extra downforce helps to provide the balance between the front and the rear of the car. Let's talk about the steering. We're running 245 section front end rubber boots, and in the back we've got 325 section, and they're the same width currently on the GT3RS product, so you've got plenty of rubber on the road. Feels light on the front end. Obviously it's still got a steering rack, 997 generation, and it's just so quick. It's so quick, and you point it and you're in the bend, it just turns in so well. Really does. Now, 500 PS in 2011, manual transmission. Come on, just keep going. You know, 4,000 revs. It picks up so quickly, and the sound, the howl it's giving you in the back, it's sensational. You don't need anything artificial on this car. The titanium exhaust system, the improved manifolds that come off the engine into the exhaust system over the 3.8 sing a different tune. So captivating, so enjoyable, and it just feels part of the car. It just feels natural. It feels as it should be on the road. Now, as I was saying a little earlier on, the car was spec'd with steel brakes, and I have said in other videos that maybe you should be going for ceramics, but the livery on this car, the beautiful silver and red livery on this car, which sets it apart from the other 3RS 997s, you know it's a 4 litre, and it reminds you when you get in it, when you look at the instrumentation, when you glance in the rear view mirror, when you look at the back of the car, the RS 4.0, there's a constant reminder that you are in an extremely special car, let me say. And so the red calipers and those steel discs, they set the car off perfectly for me. And of course, with so few examples in right-hand drive, 600 ever made, number 89 has been spec'd perfectly well. Now, in 2011 997, I'm sure when the salesman pushed the option list across the desk at you and said, what do you want to pick, the options and lists would have been quite considerably smaller than you get now with the 991 generation cars. Those speakers, etc., different colour dials, things like that. Whether you want interior light design package, all of these little extra bits of fluff which people often feel they have to have, and I'm the worst culprit for that. In this car, it's got everything you need. It's got the engine, it's got the handling, it's got the looks, it's got an absolutely perfect spec for me. Some people decided to go with no climate control, no navigation. I think I would have gone for that, and this car has those two things. So you've got everything. You've got a radio, you've got a CD player, you've got air conditioning, you've got cruise control, and I can see why every person that's ever driven this car, ever reviewed it, and I've not seen many right-hand drive reviews, let me be honest, they're all of the same view. Sold. And I think this is where limited production run cars really began in the modern era, because 600 examples, the 911R, 991, the Porsche Speedster 991, 1948. So, you know, there's a third more 911Rs than there are this car. So that kind of puts it into perspective. So if you get a very, very limited run number car, then you can expect it to command good money, certainly overs of list price. And to think this car was a staggering 128,000 quid list price, and this one probably left the showroom at 130 and a bit. Why are they going for 400? Well, it's because there's so few of them, and it's as simple as that. But the ones that I've seen for sale that have got less than 300 miles on the clock, how sad. I mean, come on, how sad is that? At 475,000 quid, so you drive that car, you're going to lose a bit, quite a bit. Still be worth buying it though if you have the money, I think. But this car's done a few thousand miles now. It's up at over 5,700 miles. And so for me, it's a car which will still command great money, but it's a car which will be able to be enjoyed and driven. It feels mechanical, it feels raw, it feels real. It connects you with what's happening. You feel every undulation. The steering's so sharp. All these little touches that the RS has over the standard 3.8 version just took it on. And Andres said it himself, it's the best RS we've ever made. And there I am in a GT3RS 4 litre, super exhaust on it. I'll take this every day of the week. This car was in my garage, and my Crayon RS was in the garage. This one was the one I'd be taking more often than not. More often than not. What a day. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up there. Thanks very much for watching today's video. It's been an absolute pleasure to drive this 4 litre 997 RS. What a car it is. Best car I've ever driven in my life, quite simply. And hopefully today's video has done it justice. Don't forget to comment, like, and also become a subscriber to the channel. Get that notification button on. Next time I do a video, you know all about it. Thanks very much for watching. And as always, I'll see you next time.